Where I'm just doing a little recap of what happened over the course of like day and a half, I guess. I'm here in Sarandë, Albania, and I took the boat from Bari to Igoumenitsa, Greece, a port city on the northwest coast, pretty close to the island of Corfu, if you're familiar with that area. And yeah, it was a long trip, and it's weird. I don't know how I like planned this stuff out. I think I planned this out months ago, and I was like, oh, it's a good deal because I have like the Eurail pass. I was able to get the ticket for the ferry for like 23 euros or something. So it was really cheap. So I was like, it's cool. And I didn't get like a proper bunk or like a bed on the thing because it's an overnight ferry. So I kind of just had to sleep like in the and I found like a nice place so I kind of sprawled a bit, but it was like I had to wear, I think maybe I got like 3 or 4 hours of sleep altogether on this overnight ferry. And yeah, it was kind of rough, and the sea was kind of rough. I think we hit like a spot that kind of woke me up, and this is a massive boat. I think we had like rough waters last night, and I've just been really like sick of all the ferries. And for some reason, I thought we were gonna do like a stop in Corfu, and I could get off and just head on another small ferry to Albania. But then we just went to the Greek mainland instead of going to the island. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to get back. I'd have to go on two ferries, one to Corfu, then the other one from Corfu to Sarandë. So I was like, I'm just gonna take a bus to Sarandë, see what I could find. So I went to I think what solidified that idea in my head was going to like the ferry and asking them like when does the ferry leave, and it was like 8:30, and it was like 6 o'clock in the morning when I got there. And I was like, I had a coffee, and then I was like, I'm gonna try the bus. And then I went to the bus station, and the guy's like, yeah, it goes to 10. And I thought he said it goes to Saranda. No, this bus only went to the border with Albania, and I didn't find out till like 15 minutes before we left. So I thought I was gonna go buy it. I was like, oh, I'll buy it like right before, like you know what I mean. And so I went to go. It was like 9:45. I went to go buy the ticket, pay for the ticket, and it was like he was I was like, this going Saranda, right? I should have double checked with him. Otherwise I would have went and looked for another bus or something. I don't know. I would have done something else probably. I probably would have taken the ferry if I would have known not to go through this, but it was too late. I had to make a decision right on the spot. And I was like, whatever, I'll figure it out. I was gonna take this bus to the border. And yeah, I mean it was cheap. At least it was like 3 euros to get to the border, which is like about 20 miles away, I think, maybe. It was really pretty. That part of Greece is like northern Greece is like so beautiful. You'll see it in the video if you watch it all. And then so it took me to it was fine. It was a great ride. Went to made to the border, crossed, got stamped out of the Eurozone, and then I walked the stretch to the Albanian border. And I thought there would be more transport options. I don't know. I thought there'd be like buses and more like cabs waiting. And I don't know, luckily I talked to this one injured guy. I think he was there's a lot of Albanian like migrant workers who go work in Greece in the fields to go help pick crops or go help with the farmers do their thing. And a lot of them are going back to Albania. I guess they're like they took that bus that I was on, and they just basically go back home, after they get some money from work. And they one of the guys, he was injured. I asked him, he spoke some English. It was like I asked him, I was like, how can I get to Toronto? He's like, oh, there's plenty. There's a cab, but the cab he was talking about was a cab he was taking, and that was the only cab. And luckily I was like, I guess I'm going with this guy, or I'm taking that cab. And then I was the first one in there, and I sat in the front, and then like the guy piled in three guys in the back. And yeah, it was I guess Albania doesn't stamp passports. He handed my passport to the driver handed my passport to the passport control people, and they like had it for like about 5 minutes, and they didn't stamp it, I guess. I don't know, I checked it. I was like, whatever, they sent me in. Maybe it's like a digital thing now. But yeah, it's like it was kind of crossing a border, like felt sorry, I got like disrupted there. I think I had an alarm set for some reason. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I felt like I was crossing a border like in Central America, except with like a lot less people. It was just like a small rush of like workers. It wasn't like it was relatively quick. They stamped us out of Greece, and there you go. It was like a faster version of that. But yeah, as soon as we crossed over, though, it was like Albania is. I feel like going from Italy then to Greece and then to Albania, it's like you leveled down as like financially, you know. So maybe like here in Sarandë, it's actually not bad in the city, like where I'm at. I'm like in the nice little posh part of town where I think it seems like a lot of people are visiting this area who don't have access to the Eurozone, I think. So I see like a lot of people from like other developing countries visiting here. It's their chance to visit like parts of Europe that let them come without a visa, I guess. So yeah, I see people from like India, or they look like they're from like that part of the world, I guess. Maybe I'm just making an uninformed observation, but it seems like there's a lot more people who probably don't have easy access to the Eurozone. They come here instead. Because I was like reading that online too about people who come to like Albania, Montenegro, Serbia, and like Macedonia and Bosnia, like these little group of countries in the Western Balkans, because they don't need they don't need to get special visas or anything like that. So I mean, it's good on them. I guess it's a little bit cheaper, but honestly, it doesn't feel like Albania is a whole lot cheaper. I don't know. It seems about as cheap as like as Sicily or southern Italy, except it's just like the transport's not as good and the roads are not as good. But yeah, I mean, coming in, it was kind of crazy. I mean, I got to practice my few dozen words of Albanian, I guess. I guess if you count numbers, I know my numbers in Albanian more or less. I count to like 1,000 or whatever, or like 10,000. I guess it's like, but I say hi, bye, I want this, you know, that's about it. Thank you. And but the cabbie didn't really talk too much, honestly. He was kind of doing his own thing. I don't know. And but the guys in the back were like really chatty, so they're like I was kind of using Google Translate to talk with them a little bit more in depth. I told him that I had been to Kosovo in 2011 or whatever, and he was like asking me about that. So I like answered some questions about like what I did. But yeah, they were super friendly, except it's crazy, like I guess in that little stretch outside the border there's a lot of animals and stuff on the road. So I think there might be a video where we almost ran into like a bunch of horses like for a second, which kind of scared me for a minute. But the overall, I mean, it was fine. The cab ride was fine. It was just, I think it was like 30 miles or something, or maybe, yeah, it was like something, it was like a lot. It was pretty far. I have to look exactly, but it was like 20 to 30 miles or more. I don't know. Might have been even more than that. But the cabbie, I think altogether, it ended up being like, I ended up paying like 50 euros. So it was kind of expensive. I probably paid double to not go by sea. If I would have went by sea, I probably would have paid like about 25, 30 euros. So I don't know. I'm just kind of over taking ferries and rough seas. I just don't want to do it again. I'm just like, even though the views are pretty nice, the sea views, and like, I think going overland, crossing the border into Albania like that it was more interesting to me personally, honestly, and I'd rather experience Albania like that than just jumping off the port and not actually talking to anybody, just getting stamped in and there you go, you're in, you know. I don't know. But overall, it's good. I'm doing well. I'm really tired though. I'm gonna sleep right after this. So hope you enjoy the video. Bari to Sarandë, Albania via Greece. There you go. All right, here's some of the ferries. I don't think that's mine. Mine's that one way back down there. So just making my way down there. So yeah, bye Bari. I'm leaving you behind. Oh, look at, they have the flag of the 3 allies during the war. Back in the glory days. These things are huge. Alright, these things are huge. Look at these ferries. They're like mini cruise ships. Oh wow. So cool. Alright, I'm here waiting for the ferry. I get to board in like a half an hour. So, yeah. Here's the ferry permit. Nothing special. Man, it's kind of dangerous. They have us like walking along with the cars and stuff like that here. So, yeah, it's kind of confusing. I wonder if they like straighten this stuff out like in the tourist season or kind of off season, I guess. But yeah, I think that's the ferry we're going into. Looks like they're moving a ton of vehicles and stuff there. This might be one of the main like transport connectors to Greece and Italy actually. So all this stuff is going to and from. I don't think Greece produces a lot of like manufactured stuff, so they probably get a lot from Italy. Alright, I'm boarding this beast here. So watch out for the cars. Yep, here in the port of Bari. That's what makes the city so important. Alright, this is how you walk in. That's cool, it's like a little pedestrian area. Now this is like huge. Cool, I'll take my bike on this one of these days. Alright, going through here. I guess we're gonna check our tickets again. Well, I kind of went to dead end there with the bag storage thing. I'm gonna hold on to my bags. Wow. Here it is. It's actually pretty nice and shiny and clean. I think I don't have a berth. I think I just have like chairs tonight, so it's gonna be kind of like a long ride. Be like 8 hours, I think. So just try to crash out, make some space. Wow. So I don't exactly know where I'm supposed to go, but I guess I'll find out. But this looks like a ton of storage up here. I'm sure it's gonna be filled up. So we got like 2.5 hours, I think, before this thing leaves. So let's see how long it takes for them to fill it up. Let's see, I got a view of the port too. It's pretty wet up here. Yeah, look at that. And it just goes on and on. Alright, I'm outside in the dark here. You can see the shoreline of Italy. Sorry if it sounds off, I don't have the mic on. But it's fucking cold out here. And yeah, it's kind of scary. But this is what it looks like on the inside. Yeah, I guess this is how... I hope we never have to use this thing. Freaking freezing out there, I'll die. Okay, we made it to Greece, so I'm gonna disembark now and get out of here. It's kind of crazy how big this boat's able to turn itself around. God, it's like chilly. Sometimes traveling leaves you walking dark streets, strange towns. Well, luckily this one's pretty empty. So on the mainland of Greece, Igoumenitsia, I don't know how to pronounce it's a port city on the west coast of Greece. And yeah, it's pretty empty here. I took a bus to the station, but I guess there's two different stations and I went the wrong way, so having to route myself to the right place. I'm gonna have to take another ferry to Corfu, which is about an hour, then another ferry, so it's the day of 3 ferries. So yeah, there wasn't any direct ferries to like the city in Albania that I wanted to go to, so I had to kind of go in a roundabout way. For some reason, I thought this ferry I was on was gonna stop in Corfu. Well, maybe that's just wishful thinking, I don't know, but it's fine. It's fine. Just gonna go station, get my ticket, and I will be in Corfu in like an hour. It's not that far. I think I could probably see Corfu from here. Yeah. I'm gonna give me time to chill and get some coffee or something. Alright, so I decided against doing a ferry. I looked up, I could just take a bus to Sarandë, Albania. So, and I think it's a lot cheaper too. I don't know, I just don't want to go back on the boat again. We had like a rough patch, I think, last night a little bit. I could feel it. That boat was like, bleh. I don't know. So I think, yeah, I'm just gonna go overland by bus. And I think it's cheap. It's like, yeah, it's like cheaper too. So should be like about an hour bus ride, I think. So not too bad. It was at 10. It's like 7:20 now. So it would take. I'd have to take 2 ferries if I would have went the other way, because I'd have to go to Corfu and then I'd take another ferry to Sarandë. So it's easier just to do one bus trip instead of doing like the double ferry thing. And I think the ferry leaves at like 8:30, and then I'd get there like around 9:30 or 10, and then I have to wait for another ferry. So I'll probably be in Sarandë before like noon. So logistics, you know, it's like this one's I'm kind of doing on the fly. So travel is not all glamorous. Sometimes you're just sitting around a bus station killing time. So you bring some books and stuff to listen to or read. So all right. So this is the port city of Igoumenitsa during the day. So this is what it looks like. It feels like it's still kind of under construction. But yeah, I came in a ferry at like 6 o'clock in the morning, so I'm waiting there for like 3 hours, I guess. And it's been like one of the longest travel days in my life. I think I was able to sleep like 3 or 4 hours last night. Alright, so these are the ferries that go to Corfu. This is like about the same size. Well, I don't know, I think the ferry one was a little bit bigger. But yeah, like on the distance you can see Corfu. Maybe I should have taken the ferry. It might have been nicer during the day. It's really pretty. I guess this town has a little bit more if you go a little bit deeper in. It's really green here. It's olive trees. It's so cool. Yeah, Greece is pretty green this time of year. Some like orchards here. to get hydroelectric power from this thing. They're just using it for like irrigation. This waterway looks like a big lake or something. This is so cool. Look at that view. There's Greece behind me, northern Greece. Yeah, this is so cool. Such a cool bus trip. Look at that. Yeah, I think I spent €3.50 to get to the border. Let's see how much it costs me to get. It's probably gonna cost me like €50 to take a cab or something. I don't know, maybe there might be some buses waiting. I hope there's something. If there's nothing, I guess I'll be going back and having to take the ferry and doing this all over again. Yeah, just outstanding views. This is definitely like a cool bus ride for sure. On the other side of that hill is Albania. So it looks like it's got, like, as soon as you cross that hill, it seemed like it got drier. So it's kind of interesting. I'm almost there. I think I'm like a mile away from the border. It's Albania, first time. Oh my god. Albania looks like New Mexico. Yeah, this place looks like New Mexico. It's kind of weird. There's so many sheep here. Look at that. Oh, it's so cool. Alright, so I made it to Sarandë, Albania. Survived the taxi trip from the border. And yeah, it was kind of a trip. I think we almost ran into a herd of horses right off the bat, and yeah, that was kind of scary. And just, I don't know, I probably shouldn't have done that, but I survived, so it's a story now. So yeah. So I'm trying this traditional Albanian drink called dal. It's like a milk, I don't know, it's like yogurt. I think they have something slightly different in Kosovo. So I think the culture is a little bit different in the north versus the south. We're in the far south here. I think the dialect's different too, because I was trying to speak with some of the local people and they didn't understand anything I said, even though I think I was saying it correctly. All right, now I'm gonna taste test some of the local bread and cheese here, so let's see what this tastes like. All right, now I'm trying this lamb-based meal. This is like the main course right here. And the bread and the cheese is already good, already like half the cheese. This is like a meal in itself, honestly. It's just a lot of dairy products, but it's very good. Seems like a lot of traditional food has a lot of like lamb and goat or type of like more basic meats. I think like beef is kind of like the richer meat. Man, I polished that food off. I was like so hungry. Now I'm like full and so tired. I think I just like want to go to bed and sleep. Tomorrow I got a walking tour, but it's at 5, so